break right now. We're going to listen to the spoken word of Tantra and the beautiful music and voice of Maritri. And if you watched Straight Up before, you've seen them before, so you know you're in for a treat. And we'll be back.
Don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid, let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow. The artist, instead of creating something, selects it. Dreams at stake. Surviving for a come true, reminiscent of old school Brooklyn, housing developments once touted as premier living quarters for hopeful southern transplants. Now dens for hanging out children to play with, fashionably spiraled hair confined to rows, as slick tiles replace vials and tiles, as bean pies, my brother, for signs of a time when consciousness denied was recognized in our love songs. Before Nehemiah planted houses in parts east of New York, Project Seeds replacing government cheese with AZT for the HIV strains, with new roots for greener backyards, filled with beltless black males with sagging pants underwearing the swaggering for a come true. Dreams at stake. For a hustled mind is a terrible way to melt dreams on Brooklyn streets. As Mr. Softy pretends not to notice how drops of hope drip from sprinkled cones with the sugar of little black kids who can't wear colors with rainbow identities without losing their minds, without fading into unconsciousness reminiscent of a time when there was no such thing as too black or too white, to love the hood you're in, not the one you're wearing or the color. Dreams at stake. For the frivolous, the leaderless, blaming mothers for addiction, joining gangs before banging on the doors of good neighbors to end indigo moments, seemingly too long for futures tormented and forever changed by a life of crime. Didn't the Lord raise Lazarus from the dead? And miracles told as lines for Christ form around the corners of salvation, reminiscent of the depression as spirits waver and suffer from a deprivation that only Jesus could deliver. It's in the witness of the faces, the babies, with angry words born to stroll Brooklyn streets, grown into being with no place to go, as single-parent households replace wedding bells out of tune to grandma's Negro spirituals, birthing a new tradition of newborn life within a 6-block radius. Without belts for security or chastity, without fathers to love and protect them, as sex and cash moves everything around them for a come true. Reminiscent church house bingo halls and rent parties for extra cash at houses where everybody knew everybody and everybody prayed into healing drug-addicted sons and daughters. As the 60s passed, we breathe a sigh of relief, only to crack under the pressure of chained circumstance. When Saturday night slaves to the rhythm became Sunday's spirit inspired to dream. while holding hands, squeezing eyes ever so tightly. Tears dropping, soul body swaying, glad for 7 more days for come true. Reminiscent of old school Brooklyn and better days when vibrant colors had a different meaning and people were inspired to live out their dreams. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a writer. I want to be president. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a mommy like you, mommy. I want to be a poet. I want to be a daddy like you, daddy. I want to be a preacher. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be free. The artist, instead of creating something, selects it. The artist, instead of creating something, selects it. The artist,
So don't be afraid.
instead
Let them show
of creating something,
true colors.
selects it.
True colors.
The true colors.
Colors are beautiful. Like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
Don't be afraid to be free.
Like a rainbow. Like a rainbow.
This is Straight Up. I'm Stella Winston. I'm surrounded by the beautiful artwork of Ansel Pitcairn. As you can see, it's artwork of black women with their hair in its natural state. You have locks, you have just free-flowing hair, you have, well, it's in back of me, you have a woman that's built into a tree where the tree looks like the hair on the black woman. It's just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely fabulous. Now, Ansel Pitcairn is the illustrator of a current book that he has out written by Tanya Bolden. It's called Portraits of African American Heroes. We talked about that in a previous segment. But he's also the illustrator of a upcoming book called Aisha's Crown and Glory. Well, I'd like to welcome to Straight Up Ansel Pitcairn here to share with us more of his beautiful artwork.
Thank you. In this portfolio, I have some of the original pieces from both portraits of African American heroes, Aisha's Crown and Glory, and some other various pieces. This was Satchel Paige, who was a African American baseball player, and I put the painting next to the original pencil drawing just to kind of show the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, he's in the book?
Yes.
Okay. And he represents the sports hero.
He was one of the African Americans representing various sports. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, one of the things I noticed about the book, the whole book is a piece of art as well, and this would be the part of the book where you open it, right? What do you call that part of the book?
The inseam.